My name is Elizabeth Benarchik. I'm the Division Chief of Prevention at Brighton Fire Rescue District in Brighton, Colorado. I was at a conference several years ago, and Annie Pickett did a presentation on what they had done there with the SmartBurner installation in her housing authority units there in Worcester, Massachusetts, and they eliminated the cooking fire problem. As a fire marshal and a big advocate for community risk reduction, I know that cooking fires is the leading cause of fires across our country. So as I've done community risk assessments, I've always thought and tried to work on ways to reduce those cooking fires in my community. In 2020, I moved to where I work at now, Brighton, Colorado. And I noticed when I first moved here that our crews kept going to the same senior living complex. And so it just came into my mind that maybe I could replicate what Annie had done in Worcester. I talked to my public educator who really knows our district better than anyone, and she's been dealing with community risk reduction here for over 20 years. And so I said to her, hey, I heard of this project, and it's the product SmartBurners, and maybe we should look into doing a grant like they did. A couple months ago, we had a big meeting here at our headquarters, and we invited all of the housing authority managers, their director, and all of their maintenance personnel. And we had a great meeting. We set up start dates and then deadlines for this. We, of course, educated all of those folks on how the SmartBurners worked. We have set up community events at each one of our housing authority units, and we've been doing those over the past several weeks. We brought the actual SmartBurner product so everyone could get their hands on it, which was very important, and they really understood what it was then. The community events before we even do the installations were very vital so that everyone kind of just had a better understanding of what was coming. Most of our population in 3 of the 4 units we're going into are senior adults. Our feedback so far has been very receptive because, again, we are targeting elderly adults who understand the risk. And not only that, but a lot of them have mentioned, yeah, I smelled burnt cooking yesterday, or I'm tired of having to evacuate when the alarms go off because somebody burnt food, down the hallway. And so I think most folks would like anything that makes it safer in their apartment. The only questions that we've had with concerns is how do you clean the product, which is a very simple solution. So once they understood that the product is made from cast iron, many of the residents here mentioned that they cook with cast iron, so they understood that you need to keep it dry and oiled some. But overall, the reception from the residents has been fantastic, that we're bringing them a product that's going to eliminate the fear of a stovetop fire for them and make their apartment complex safer. One of our units has families, so it has children also, which was something that we felt was important when we applied for the grant. This particular apartment complex, most of them do not speak English as a first language. And so we felt that it was very important to include this in our project also because as fire prevention experts, we know that when you bring in different ethnicities, sometimes your cooking styles can be different. And we wanted to make sure, and moving forward, we have a lot of folks on staff that can speak Spanish so that when we go into these homes, they understand completely what product they're getting also and the safe tips for cooking. So my first goal for the project is that the residents accept the SmartBurners and they understand that there's a little bit of a difference in the cooking time. We're talking 1 or 2 minutes, which for us in Colorado at a higher elevation, it already takes a little bit longer to boil water anyway. So my first goal is just that they accept the product. And then obviously my second goal is that in 6 months and a year from now and down the road, when I start pulling the data from fire responses to these places, the numbers drop down to nil. But we have to look at the operations standpoint of it. so our crews aren't constantly responding to these units for stovetop cooking fires. Although I am a big proponent of sprinkler systems, my ultimate goal is to stop the fire from occurring in the first place. When there's no fire, there's no burns, there's no toxic fumes that people are breathing in, and then there's no smoke damage, or if it gets worse, there's no fire damage around. So products that are used to extinguish the fire after it already happened, although some of those are good technologies, we really, in the fire prevention world, we want the fire to not start in the first place. And we have not seen any technology yet out there on the market that does that besides this SmartBurner technology product. There's money out there to get this product into your community. No matter how big or how small the project is, we're still making a difference for the residents in our community and for our first responders.